All right, folks, welcome back to CMM Live. My name is Joe Campolo, your host, and today's episode is all about helping small businesses here on Long Island thrive. That is the mission of CMM Live. We just heard from Joe Camerato, president and co-founder of National Business Capital, National Business Services, who offers financing and other valuable services to small businesses. And now we're going to talk to Elizabeth Malafi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. She's the coordinator of the Miller Business Center. And I have to tell you a quick story. You know, when I was, 2006, I guess, when I was contemplating starting this firm, I actually lived in Center Reach, right down the road from the Miller Business Center. And I went in there one day not knowing what it was. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else that I spoke to, but they were the most helpful person in the world, showed me all these resources. And here we are, the rest is history. So I really owe a debt of gratitude to the Miller Business Center. So tell us about it. Tell us what it is. It really is the best kept secret here on Long Island. And our goal today is to expose you so people understand the value it brings.
Thank you very much. The Miller Center is part of the Middle Country Public Library. We are a specialized business center within that library. The entire Miller team is made up of librarians who have a specialty in business. So many of us have a background in business or we have business degrees. So that's why we were picked to be part of the Miller Center. And the goal of the center really is to just help small businesses in any way we can. So that could be a program, an educational opportunity for something that they really need, such as social media or different computer programs that they might need, connecting them with one of our partners for things that we cannot do, and connecting them with other business people that can help them, whether it be connecting them with other customers or resources. So we're really all about connecting.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's all free, right? It's all free.
It is 99.9% free. Yes,
it's an amazing. It really is an amazing resource. It really is. So tell me, who's John Miller? Who is John Miller, and why is his name on this amazing resource?
John Miller is a local entrepreneur. He started a company and was very, very successful. And when we were redoing the library in 2003, we were looking for somebody to name the business center. At that point, we had been working with businesses, but it was just called the Business and Finance Collection, and we were really getting started in those late 1990s. And when we had that opportunity to give the business center a physical space, we were fortunate enough to connect with John Miller, and he believed in what we were doing, and the Miller Center was born.
Yeah, really, really, truly an amazing resource. So let's start talking about the actual resources, right? Because I think so many folks out there have no idea what's available there. Because if they did, you would be flocked all day, every day. I'm telling you, it's crazy valuable stuff. So talk about it. What are some of the most popular resources that you guys find business people looking for that you provide?
As far as resources go, which is one of the big things that the Miller Center does, is connect businesses with the resources they might need to write a business plan. Or your previous guest, Joe, is helping people get financing. And I know that when you go for financing, you need to show that my business idea is viable. Here's what the industry is doing. Here is the potential for this industry. Here's where the growth is. And we have a lot of resources that can help people with that. A lot of the databases we have are proprietary databases that we've subscribed to, so you're not going to be able to Google who are my competitors and get the same information that we might be able to get using a database such as Merchant Intellect or the Reference USA database, First Research. So these are all proprietary databases. When we can't find the information we need in the databases, we have a lot of other resources that we can use. As I said, we're librarians who are focusing on business, so we've been doing this for a while. We have resources that we go to. We also are always connecting with business librarians from throughout the country, so we can reach out to them if there's information that we need to help them with. Aside from resources, the Miller Center also offers a lot of programming for businesses.
What does that mean, programming?
So different educational opportunities, and it really, all of the programming that we do is a direct result of things that the people we help have asked for or that we've seen their questions reflect. So we might have a program on how to use LinkedIn, and then that turns into a program on how to promote your business with LinkedIn. We have programs on the new New York State sexual harassment laws and what people can do with that. So it's really a wide variety of programs and all related to what businesses are telling us they need,
Yeah,
or
and that,
indicating to us.
folks, what I want you to understand is that the databases and everything are great. It's great. But you could get those if you paid for them. It's you guys, the business librarians, that are there. And listen, if I sound excited, it's because, you know, what I love about you guys is you don't discriminate. You'll help any business that needs it, irrespective of what size they are. You know, even at the HIA, the HILI, you're great partners with the HIA. You're an amazing resource, not just for our members, but for the organization itself. And it's because of you. You know, so talk about your role, your involvement. You know, what sort of challenges do you get from business? What sort of projects do you get? What are the accomplishments you guys are able to do? Because it's very satisfying, I have to imagine.
We always tell businesses when we do a presentation to business organizations, and we try to do as many as we can to get the word out. We obviously give some of the standard questions we might get. So again, somebody's looking to open a business and they want to know, what's the industry doing? I'm looking to go into healthcare field. What are the projections for the healthcare field in 5 years? Easy, we can get that. How many people buy pizza in Center Each in any given year? Those things are easy, and it's easy to tell people those are the questions that we get. But what we always say is, ask us anything, and we will work so hard to find that answer for you, whether it be to find an answer or find information that you can interpret to the answer that you need, or connect you with somebody that can get the information for you. So we really don't say there are any limitations to what we can do, because we want those questions. We want people to reach out to us, and we want people to think of us as like their first source, and then we can refer them to the information they need, or maybe somebody else that can help.
Right, so what are some of the more popular databases that you guys use, and what sort of information can be gotten from them?
Well, you know,
or is that
I think,
proprietary?
No,
Okay, yeah.
no. Ultimately, what every business owner on Long Island and New York State and the United States wants is more business.
Yes.
So what people ask us is, who are my potential customers? Who can help me? Who wants my services? So we use a database called Reference USA often. It's a business directory. So if you are an interior designer, say, and you want to really target people that are buying big new homes, we can help you find a list of realtors in the areas you're looking to work with, East Hampton, Southampton, who are doing business of $5 million or more a year, and now you have a place to start. You have that list of realtors who are working with high-end customers that maybe you can start a relationship with, and they can promote your services. But what we always tell people is that list of businesses is great, but you know, because you're a master networker, that networking and getting out of your office is most important. So to that end, we do offer a lot of networking opportunities for the businesses that we work with. All of our programs begin with a networking portion. So we open the doors super early for a program, maybe 8 o'clock or 8:30. People have time to network, and then we have the program. And then we have 2 large trade show networking events a year as well.
So if somebody, listening to this says, I think I have an interesting topic that I'd like to try and share with the business community, what's the process? How would they go about applying to be able to do that presentation?
Anybody can send me an email with an outline of what they would like to present, and what their qualifications are to present that. And we would love it because we really do want to work with local businesses. We want to keep all of this economic development within Long Island. So we want Long Island business people to be helping other Long Island business people.
Yeah, totally respect that and appreciate that. So a couple of things, you got Miller Business Mornings and Business Bites. What are those? What are those about? Those sound very interesting.
Well, it always helps us with programming to give them a series name so people get used to branding and you understand branding. So our Business Bites, we call it Bites because we give you a little bit of food when you get there, and we give you a little bit of information. So as I said, we add that networking portion into all of our programs. So something like Business Bites might start at 8:30, people network, and then the program is just a little bit of information from 9 to 10. And people really love that format. We've found that the businesses that we work with really prefer a morning program before they have to go to work, because they know that once they're in the office, it's very hard to leave.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I see also that you guys partner with the SCORE Association. So tell us what that's about.
Well, we are business librarians at the Miller Center, but we are not business counselors. So it's very important for us to partner with business counselors. So we're fortunate enough to have SCORE come to the library once a week to counsel entrepreneurs, small business owners, any business people really. And then we also partner with the Small Business Development Center at Stony Brook University, and we're able to send clients there, and vice versa. SCORE will refer people to us, and SBDC will refer people to us. Because they, again, as they might be talking to somebody looking to start a business or hoping to get financing, hoping to grow their business, and they're asking them questions such as, who are your competitors? What's the industry doing? And the business counselors can't answer those questions, so they might send them to us to help them with that.
Yeah, and it's the Small Business Development Center at Stony Brook. I have a nice relationship with them as well, and it's great that everybody's partnering and synergizing for one common goal. Sometimes you see fiefdoms, but I don't get that that's the sense here.
Not at all. I mean, we know that we can't all do everything, so it's really just wonderful to be able to have people that you trust, that you can say, you need to go talk to Ronnie at the SBDC. She can help you with that part of it. And then once she helps you, come back to me and we'll get started with that, with the research end of it.
Yeah, and Ronnie Rosen is great, and she's a great friend of the firm and a great resource as well. So let's talk about you personally a little bit. So how long are you here? How did you wind up here? Was this something that you thought you'd be doing, or did you just kind of fall into it? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Librarianship is a second career for me. Before I received my master's degree in library science, I worked in publishing. So I did a lot of special market sales in publishing. I worked with a lot of sales reps and sold books to non-traditional markets. Books have always been important to me, so I thought one day I might want to be a librarian. So I got my master's degree over as long as they would allow you to get it. I took 5 years because I was working full-time in the city as well as taking classes. So I just thought this might be a side thing later on. I got the opportunity at Middle Country Public Library to work there, and because it is, I feel, the best library on Long Island, I didn't want to miss that opportunity. And I believe because I had that business background, they thought that I would be good for their business center. And they were kind of just starting with the Miller Business Center at that point. So I think it was just very helpful for me to have that business background, that I did understand what it was like to stress about meeting sales goals, wonder if that person was going to call me back about that big order, wonder what I was going to do without that big new product this year, how to motivate my sales force. So having that background, I think, helps me help the businesses that we help.
Yeah, sure. It sounds like a perfect background, because you know the pressures. You know exactly why they're asking for this information and where it needs to go. It's not an academic exercise. I will tell you, the Middle Country Public Library is an amazing library. My daughter basically grew up there because that's where we'd go to hang out and do all sorts of stuff. So what's the relationship between the Middle Country Public Library and the Miller Center? Are you all part of the same, or how does that work?
Yes, we are all part of the same. When I talk about the Miller team, we focus a lot on the Miller Center, but we're also doing work for the Middle Country Public Library as well. We're not full-time in the Miller Center, but we do have a pretty big team, so we're able to cover all that we need to do with the Miller Center. But yes, we are part of that library through and through.
You know,
it's our home.
It's frustrating to me. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, and why I try and promote you guys as much as we can at the HIA is you guys should be overwhelmed with business people that are inundating you with requests. And shame on us, we don't always think as well. But the work you do is amazing, and it's such a valuable resource. What have you seen over, so you're there about 10 years now, right? Mm-hmm. And what have you seen, so with shifts of technologies and libraries in general and books in general, what's the shift you see? Because I'm a huge book geek. I don't use a Kindle. I use books. I collect books. I love my books. But I'm so afraid that libraries are just going to go away.
No, never.
So tell me about it. Reassure me here, please.
This is the easiest question I've had. Libraries are not going away. Just generally speaking, we are busier than we've ever been. The library has changed or morphed into a community center. We're busy all the time. I'm fortunate enough to work at Middle Country Public Library. We have just always been a hub of the community, but I think that a lot of other libraries are seeing how do we need to change to stay relevant, and they are changing. We are offering a lot of things online, so the people that do want to read on their Kindle or listen on their iPhone can, but we're also upping our game with programming and different services. The Middle Country Public Library offers passport services, so you can get your passport at the library. You can come in and get things notarized. So we're really upping our game that way. As far as the business services go, it's very heartening to me as somebody who sincerely believes that libraries should be helping businesses, because a strong business means a strong economy, and a strong economy is great for everybody, including the library. When the Middle Country Library started working with businesses in the late 90s, libraries weren't doing it. And even through my career in the Miller Center, many libraries hadn't seen the value of helping businesses. That's slowly changing. At the Miller Center, we work very hard to help other libraries help their businesses. We do help businesses from throughout Long Island, but I would be more than happy to have other libraries helping businesses as well. We go to conferences and present to other libraries on how they can help businesses. I've co-authored 2 books on how libraries can help businesses.
Pitch them now. What are they?
Well, they're really not any kind of book that any layperson would want to read.
You don't know my audience. There's a lot of creatures out there. Might want to delve through it. Supporting entrepreneurs in the digital age is the most recent one from last year. There you go. That sounds wonderful.
Again, it's written specifically for librarians.
It's right. It's a geek factor librarian type of book, correct?
Yes,
all right,
yes.
I got it.
And I wrote that with my colleague Sal DiVincenzo. So it's just very important to us that people see the value in the business community. And
it's such an important message. You know, I don't think, other than you guys, I don't think of other libraries on Long Island as resources for business. So I live in the Three Village area, and they probably do a good job. I just don't know. I just don't think about it. I think about you guys. You're the leaders, and I can see where collaborating would be very helpful, right? Mm-hmm. And I hope that people watching this and really understanding what a valuable resource, you know, libraries are. How much of a threat, though? I understand the community centers, mm-hmm. you know, but are we attracting younger people? So anytime I go in the library, and I do love going in the library, you know, it's like a senior citizen fest, shall we say, you know? So you guys do a great job, I know, with young children, but how are we working towards attracting them back to libraries?
Well, that's definitely a struggle for libraries, quite honestly. We're very lucky on Long Island. Our libraries are wonderful. They're very well used. And libraries throughout the country are still well used. But there is a struggle right now in the library world. How do we get that in-between stage? So we're very good at getting children and their parents, and then we're very good at getting the people once they've maybe finished their careers and their lives have slowed down, then they start coming back to the library. We really try to do programming that they might be interested in. We promote the digital services to them. So we do have a lot of people that use the library that might never enter the building. Maybe they enter every 2 years to renew their library card. But they're using the digital services, so maybe they're commuting on the train and they're listening to audiobooks through the digital services for free. So if you're subscribing to Audible, cancel it. You can get all your audio free through your library. So that's how we're trying to get those people right now. But it's definitely a struggle to get that in-between age.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that. I'm an Audible guy, right? I subscribe, they automatically give me a credit every month, and I get a book. So what's the technology? I saw something called Canopy or something like that.
Well, Canopy is an online film.
For movies?
Yes, for movies. If you're looking to get audiobooks, you can use Livebrary, which is open to all Suffolk County residents with a library card. And a lot of libraries also subscribe to something called Hoopla Digital.
Okay.
That will allow you to get audiobooks, ebooks, and movies.
That's fascinating. That really is amazing. So I remember as a kid, and I grew up in the Campolo district, so the Campolo Public Library. That was our summer hub. They had book clubs and contests, and my sister would always outread me, and I'd get aggravated about the whole thing. You know, are there sort of summer programs that go on there as well in the libraries?
Summer reading is a huge thing in every library, including ours. Just the past several years, we've started to really ramp up our adult summer reading club, and that's one of the ways we're trying to get a more diverse age group of people to participate. So we offer prizes and recognition and games to get them to participate, and we saw our participation nearly double this year for adults. The children's department always does very, very well because the schools compete against each other.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of fun.
Everybody loves competition.
That really has to be a lot of fun. So switching gears back to business for a minute. So you heard our last guest, Joe, say, you know, that over the last 10 years he's seen when they first started, businesses were coming to him for financing to keep them alive, and now they're getting loans to grow. Have you seen a shift over the last 10 years in the types of people that are coming to you, the types of information they're looking for? What have you observed?
We've absolutely seen a shift. I think when we had that large economic downturn, we had a lot of people coming in to start their own business. A lot of times that was out of necessity.
Right, they lost their jobs,
they couldn't
right?
find a job, and they wanted to take the skills that they had and start some sort of consulting business. So we were helping a lot of people with that. Again, they might visit a business counselor, and then they wanted some information on that industry, and we would help them that way. Now we're still helping the same amount of people, but it's more people either starting a business because they really want to, or working with a company and wanting to grow the business that way. So that's a big change that we saw.
Yeah, and that's good though. Those are the good.
Yes.
You know, I mean, every opportunity is great to help somebody, but it seems like, especially here on Long Island, we've gotten through that very tough area.
And even the Miller Center also offers job counseling. We have career counselors on staff that can help. And while we still have people coming in for help with their resume and help with applications and help getting a job, we are seeing them actually get jobs more quickly than they have in the past. So
yeah,
and
that's very helpful. So I mean, you've had a great career path. You're also an award-winning librarian. You've seen, I guess, thousands of people come through your your doors. You know,
Yes.
what's the advice? What's the advice you give to folks out there that are looking to start a business or grow a business? What's the best advice you can give them on your observation?
The best thing that I can tell them to do is to get out from their office, get out from behind their desk, get out there and meet people. Because we find with the Miller Center that it's not somebody seeing our brochure somewhere, it's somebody meeting me maybe 2 or 3 times, or meeting one of my colleagues 2 or 3 times before it finally takes, oh, that's right, the Miller Center, I have to contact you. Or it's them meeting somebody who has used the Miller Center that can encourage them to use it. So I really think networking and being out there and meeting people is the best way for any business person or entrepreneur to succeed.
Yeah, it's a great point, and I love that you guys do some sort of women's expo as well. Talk about that. You know, a mutual friend that we have
Yes.
seems to be always excited about that. So talk about that program.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys, Campolo, for sponsoring
Of course, absolutely.
that event. Those sponsorships really help the Miller Center, help everybody throughout Long Island. But we do offer 2 large networking events a year. The Women's Expo is coming up on October 4th. It's held at the Middle Country Public Library, and it focuses on women entrepreneurs. So it started 18 years ago as a way to kind of help women entrepreneurs who maybe didn't have the knowledge or the confidence to take their business to the next level. So we created this outlet for them to meet people, to meet other business women that can help them grow their business. So it's a great way for them to network, but it's also a really fun show to shop, do your holiday shopping at. Again, it's on October 4th. We have 83 vendors, and if you can believe it, we get over 2,400 people to the library that day.
Yeah.
So we're able to fit them all in, and they have a great day. And then about 12 years ago, we started the Strictly Business event, and we work with chambers of commerce, the Brookhaven Coalition of Chambers, and our local chamber, the Greater Middle Country Chamber of Commerce. And it's twofold. It's one, to encourage chamber membership, because we know that for a small business, being active in your chamber can really make all the difference in the world. And to also allow the businesses to network with each other. So we offer that every year in May, and we have over 100 vendors at the library for that, and about 800 attendees, and they just love speaking to each other and meeting each other.
It's amazing. Well, we're out of time. Folks, you heard it. Elizabeth Malafi here today from the Miller Business Center, showing you that librarians are cool and libraries are cool.
Yes.
They're a great resource. If you're not using them, you need to use them today. Liz, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate this. And folks, that wraps up today, but get your butts to the Miller Business Center at the Middle Country Public Library. Thanks again.
Thank you.